Hello, hello, hello. Margaret Lloyd here with Eternal Shift, New Life. Let's see, what are we going to talk about today? I hope y'all are doing great. I'm having a wonderful day. So, we're going to discuss how to stop being a narcissist. Okay, let's see. Narcissists often get flack for being incapable of change. And that's true. The reason, according to psychologists, is that most narcissists aren't really aware of their narcissistic tendencies. They think they're just perfectly fine. Yeah, right. Okay, these issues are often deep-seated self-preservation stops, and self-preservation stops them from even recognizing their problems. They don't even realize that they're a problem. But chances are, if you're reading this, you're one of those who wants to change or wants to help somebody to change. Admitting that a person is a narcissist or admitting that you might have narcissistic personality disorder is already a step forward. Self-aware narcissists, which there are very few of them, can change. In this article from QUORA, actually, they've created 7 key steps on how to stop being a narcissist. According to some of the world's top psychology experts, when we go through the negative, what happened? How did I lose it? There we go. Oh, they screwed me. Okay, so we're going to not look at that one. We're going to look at something else. I apologize. So bear with me. Okay. There we go. Where there's a will, there's a way to find it. Google ain't gonna stop me. Absolutely. So, to stop being a narcissist, the most effective approach is to seek professional therapy, particularly cognitive behavioral therapy, which can help you identify and change negative thought patterns. Develop empathy and build healthier relationships by fostering self-awareness of how your actions impact others. Which can help you identify and change negative thought patterns, develop empathy, and build healthier relationships by fostering self-awareness of how your actions impact others. Actively practice listening to others, accepting that others are not perfect, and managing stress are also important steps towards change. Key points to remember. Therapy is crucial. I do my therapy every month. I feel that it's helped me. If it's helped me, I know it'll help you. If you suspect that you have narcissistic tendencies, seeking professional help from a therapist experienced in treating NPD is essential. Self-reflection and awareness is very important too. Identify your triggers and behaviors that might be considered narcissistic and actively work on changing them. Focus on listening. That's an issue I have. My son's always telling me I listen to argue. I listen to understand what he's saying, but sometimes I tend to argue. I'll be right back. I gotta go let Snickers in. Okay, I'm back. I got Snickers back in. Okay. So, self-reflection and awareness. Identify your triggers and behaviors that might be considered narcissistic and actively work on changing them. Focus on listening. Make a conscious effort to listen attentively to others without interrupting. That's what I have to work on. And try to understand their perspective. Absolutely. Develop empathy. Most narcissists don't have any empathy, let alone any sympathy. Sit down. Sit down, baby. Okay. Developing empathy. Basically, that's putting yourself in others' shoes and considering their feelings. We have to do that. I know I haven't always been able to do that because I lived with a narcissist and a lot of his behaviors fell on me. And I, in turn, have some of those tendencies. I am losing an awful lot of them, that's for sure. Challenge negative thoughts. Recognize and challenging self-centered thinking patterns that might be contributing excuse me, to your behavior. I hate winter colds. I hate cold, period, okay? But they just hop along, don't they? They just keep jumping in. I don't like them. They're narcissistic. Could be. Who knows? So, accept imperfections. Nothing's going to be perfect. There's nothing in this world that is perfect. I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. Heck, the air's not even perfect. The blue sky's not even perfect. Accept it. Embrace it. It is what it is. They're imperfections. They're not, we're not perfect. Nothing is. Stress management. Learn healthy coping mechanisms to manage stress and avoid unhealthy behaviors that could exacerbate narcissistic tendencies. That's what your counselor is supposed to be helping you with. If you have a good counselor, you'll get through it. I know it's not easy. And here's something else that I've read. Many individuals whom others label as narcissistic do not intentionally act hurtfully. They may not intentionally, but they do it. True. Much of narcissistic behavior stems from dialogue patterns characteristic of young children. And basically what that's telling me is that most narcissists never grow up. They're still children. They also don't have good reading skills. What is the essence of narcissism? Narcissism is a listening disorder. This is interesting. Folks who function in a narcissistic manner insufficiently uptake what others say to them. Instead of systematically give and take, throw and catch dialogue, they tend to talk without listening. If they do listen, it's too often to tell the speaker what's wrong with what they said. Battling the information away instead of taking it in. In this regard, narcissistic functioning is like those of young children focusing mostly on themselves, seldom on others. This tendency becomes especially a problem when folks pursue something they strongly want without taking into account the concerns of others. Yeah. To grow beyond narcissistic functioning, it's essential to develop the habit of what I call bilateral listening. That is, the key to healthy functioning is to listen to both participants, yourself, and equally to others' concerns and perspectives. And that's one thing that narcissists don't do. They only think of their own perspective, their own concerns. They don't think about anybody else's. Here are 5 main areas in which narcissistic listening deficits tend to emerge, plus tips on how to upgrade your listening habits. Okay. It's all about me. Absolutely. Narcissistic listening manifests in habits of hearing one's own inner voices loudly, with relative disinterest and even deafness to others' viewpoints. The result, low levels of what psychologists call theory of mind, that is, ability to uptake others' perspectives. Want to overcome the all about me habit? Absolutely. I think everybody would. Be aware of your relative airtime. In conversations, pay attention to how much of the airtime you utilize. Are you talking more than others? A significantly larger proportion of talking than listening time probably suggests narcissism. My son. He will sit and he will talk and talk and talk and talk and never let me get in a word. And then when I call him on it, no, I'm not. Yeah, you are. Let's see. So what you should do is aim instead for roughly equal talking and listening time. Note the subject. Note who you are talking about or what you're talking about. Are you focusing the spotlight of attention as much on the other person as on you, or is the discussion all about me? And I know he has a lot to get out, but he needs to find somebody else to get it out than me. Because I've got my own mess that I need to get out. And I can't get my mess out if all I'm doing is listening to his mess. So he needs to get a fucking job so he can get insurance. Okay. Instead of talking about yourself, make a general point describing what you ate for dinner last night would be all about you. Describing how a particular restaurant prepares chicken offers information about cooking, not just about you and what you did. True. Ask questions. Yeah, if I could. Questions indicate interest in others. Note that good questions generally begin with what, how, where, when, who. And those are all good ways to ask a question. Beware of personalizing. Personalizing or taking things personally refers to assuming that whatever others do must in some way be about you. So if your friend is suddenly quiet, you would interrupt his silence as he must be mad at me, or interpret his silence as he must be mad at me. The antidote to personalizing: I noticed you've been quiet the last few minutes. How come? What you been thinking about? Avoid but listening. I like that. The word but indicates rejection of what the other person has said. But is like a subtraction sign. Remove instead of uptaking what you have just heard. What antidotes can replace a but habit? Listen with your good ear. I refer to listening to respond with but, that is, with your rebuttal, is listening with your bad ear. Bad ear listens for what is wrong in what others are saying instead of listening to learn. If you can't hear what makes sense or is helpful in what you're hearing, ask a question with how or what is better understand what you heard. After you have genuinely taken in the other person's contribution, only then is it your turn to add your perspective. Build upon instead of replacing what was said. Augment, then add. Instead of negating what the other person has said by starting with the word but, launch the information augment, then add. Better yet, especially if your perspective differs from the other person's, launch with the phrase, and at the same time, it could be this and this and this. Assume that both of you are right. That's always a possibility. And that's a good thing. If you both can be right. That's good. We want to be right. And we want everybody to be right. Change your either or, I'm right and you're wrong, thinking to both and thinking. Listen for what is right in both of your perspectives. And that's always a possibility. Difficulty hearing criticism. Nobody wants to hear criticism, but it's out there for all of us to hear and enjoy. Focus on what could be useful information in the feedback. You're not perfect, no one is. So listen to learn from their comments. You will get more of what you want if you can hear what others want from you. Mistakes are for learning. Receiving feedback about how or where you're acting in a way that turned out to be problematic. Hearing what you could do differently next time turns errors into opportunities to learn. Frequent anger. Anger induces both the speaker and the receiver to close their ears. Absolutely. Anger is a stop sign. So don't get angry when you're discussing things, talking with people. Don't get angry. It doesn't do any good. Ask yourself, what do each of us want when you're in a discussion? That you think you're right, they think they're right. You could both be right in so many ways. But don't argue. Discuss. So I think, this was good. There's good things to learn here. And I want y'all to know I'm going to also be working on becoming a personal coach, a life coach. I think that's just a good transition to what I'm doing. I'm going to continue doing what I'm doing because I want to help you young ladies and young women, all women throughout the world, You have to take care of yourselves. There's nobody out there to take care of you but you. So you need to take care of yourself. You need to protect yourself from people that want to abuse you. There's always, and remember, oh my God, with all these wildfires out in California, just think of the people that have lost their homes. There's going to be a scammer out there trying to get money because somebody lost their home. And they're going to say they're Cole Hauser, Mark Herman, whoever, that they lost their home and they're trying to rebuild. These people make megabucks every time a movie is shown on the big screen. They make megabucks every time Yellowstone's on TV. They make megabucks. Don't get into it. Don't fall for it. If you have somebody wanting to be your friend and asking you to get you a gift card to help them, don't do it. Don't do it. Been there, done that, lost the bank. I lost close to $10,000 on scams by people saying they needed help. I'm a kind person. I'll never do it again. Never do it again. Anybody tries to scam me, ain't gonna happen. Ain't gonna happen. I will block them, report them, get them out of here. So those of you on Facebook and Instagram and X and whatever, be careful. Be very, very careful. There are people out there that will hurt you. They want nothing more than your money. They don't care about you. They care about themselves. And they're not even in this country. That's the sad part about it. They're not even in this country. Don't know where they are, but more than likely they're not here. So, be careful, be watchful, be smart. Be smarter than them. I'm getting there. I'm getting smarter. And in fact, why on earth would Kevin Costner or Cole Hauser or Kelly Riley have a Facebook page? What do they care? They're not going to have a Facebook page. So if you see them on Facebook, block them. Kick them out. Get rid of it. Don't let them be your friends because they're not going to be your friends. So what you need to do is get out of that crap. Don't listen to it. Be kind to yourself and your family and your friends. Leave the celebrities alone. The only celebrity you need to be interested in is you. Because to me, you're a celebrity. It is what it is. Enjoy your life. Peace, love. Like, comment, and share.